Alrighty, so first part, I just wanted to cover a couple tips and tricks that were shared with me and I want to share with you, really to help you throughout your high school career if you're looking to get into a leadership position. First tip, this is probably most important, is make connections in your school or whatever community it is. Make connections ASAP. As soon as you go there, okay, go talk to whoever's in charge, introduce yourself. If you're passionate about, let's say, changing, something easy, student council. If you go to school and you want to be in student council, I promise you, going up and talking to whatever teacher is in charge of that group will be the most beneficial part for you. You want to make it known that you are passionate about leadership, you are passionate about change, and you don't want your leadership positions to be handed to you or for people to really doubt that you care. But for myself, I entered my freshman year for high school. And during my freshman year, I noticed a lot of things I wanted changed, really. I noticed a lot of school spirit issues. I noticed a lot of, bullying between different groups of people. I noticed a lot of really just a culture that I wasn't happy to be inside of. And opposed to, leaving, running from my problems, I spoke with the student council guy and I said, hey, how do I get involved? And from that moment on, after talking to my advisor, really, I gained his trust and I gained more opportunities than I would normally. So I was able to lead different events or dances as a sophomore. I was able to go to different board meetings, talk to the principal, whatnot, just because the advisor knew I cared. So first tip, make connections and really don't be scared to put yourself out there, put yourself with leaders, because being a leader is at first you believing that you are and wanting to make change. So if you have something you're passionate about, just go out there and make connections. Second part, I kind of touched on it a little bit, but really look at what you need changed, what needs to be fixed, what is missing, what could you bring to the table, and really look to find a way to leave your community better than you found it. In my eyes, that's really what a leader is. What schools want to see is actual change being made. You can be student body president, and if you do nothing, really, it's just, a title on a piece of paper. Schools want to see that you're passionate about actually making change, and they want to find someone who notices problems, recognizes problems, and finds a way to fix them. For myself, it was a series of political issues at the time that I wanted to voice my opinions about. Also, the school culture issues that I really wanted to find this issue and say, how do I find a solution for this problem? Which was a variety of fundraisers, community events, ways to bring people together. There's no one solution for a problem, and everything takes time, but recognizing that problem is the first step. And a couple more tips about being a leader in general. Number one is you gotta have a plan. After you find that idea, what you want to fix, you have to have a sturdy plan, at least in your head, of what you need to get done to actually complete this. For myself, when I became head boy, student body president, whatever you want to call it, immediately I was like, okay, here is what I want to change. I want to change how little my school engages with the community as a whole. By doing that, I was like, okay, what is a way to engage people outside of the school community that doesn't really have any stakes inside of high school? I created a fundraiser for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society that brought together not only our school, but also the entire community and other schools as a whole. And from there, moved forward with other community events. Another leadership tip for you that really helped me is that all voices are heard and all voices matter. Being a leader isn't putting your opinion above everyone else's, but rather collecting everyone else's ideas and forming them into a cohesive way that will actually benefit the group. Everyone has ideas. Everyone has something valuable to bring, and being able to listen to all of those and find one central idea that works, that's what makes a good leader. The next small little tip is I want to talk about advancing throughout leadership or student council, whatever it may be. So for myself, I started in student council sophomore year. Junior year, I kind of picked up the roles of the interim head girl. I was kind of helping out our student body president, and then senior year I was student body president. So I was able to really gain the trust of my peers and leaders throughout my time in student council. I was also a member of a student-led board. I also founded a club at my school, and so I had plenty of opportunities to be in a leadership position. A couple tips for advancing throughout leadership really is just to make sure your voice is heard, your opinions are heard, and you voice the issues that you see. This goes for not only just schools, but also for leadership in general. People want someone who is passionate and who has a drive. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how good of a people person you are. It doesn't matter how popular you are. As soon as you get into that leadership position, the only thing that matters is that you care about your job. And if you do care about your job, you will make change, and people who don't care about their job simply don't. It's why schools look for passionate people. It's why leaders look for passionate people. So I would strongly encourage, if you're not passionate about leadership, look for a different extracurricular. If you are, go make your name heard. Okay, go talk to teachers, go talk to another leader in a group you want to be a part of, and jump in from there. I would also strongly encourage making connections with other students that are in positions similar to yours, as obviously whoever has leadership at the time knows this specific group and knows specifically what they did and can give you tips and tricks. For myself, it was really networking, it was really making connections, and truly being passionate about what I was doing and wanting myself to make a change. And piggybacking off of that, I want to talk about how to tie leadership, all of the stuff I've talked about, into getting into a good college. How to put that on your application. Number one, and this is in big, bold letters, okay? Schools don't want resume builders. It's just as simple as that. Schools don't want you to be student body president if you don't do anything with that role. Schools don't want you to be senior class president if you didn't do anything different and kind of just planned a couple of homecomings. Schools can see right through on your application stuff you do and do not care about. So if you decide to put something on your application, you need it to be something that you truly do care about and can express that care for it. Many people are student body president who are applying to these schools, okay? Not many of them create actual change and can talk about that. So something that will really benefit you on your application is if you are in student council, senior class president, student body president, whatever it may be, I would make sure you focus on not what position you are, but why you decided to do that. What you did as student body president, why you wanted to get into that leadership position, what issues were there that you tried to fix. That's what schools want to see. They want to see solving a problem, taking action. They don't want to see someone trying to look smart and successful. I would strongly discourage joining a leadership group if you don't care about it, because schools will see right through that and it won't benefit you really at all. And last part of this video, I'm just going to cover quickly what I did on my application to talk about my leadership experiences. And so I'm just going to cover my short response essay. My senior year is not what you would call a breeze. I didn't run for head boy, admittedly an awkward name for what amounts to student body president, so I could have a fun title to put on the back of t-shirts or on my resume. Instead, I hope to improve my school and community, both of which are struggling to find a sense of pride. Change isn't always easy, and occasionally it's rejected. However, I haven't let opposition slow me down. From resurrecting our homecoming parade to creating a community-wide fundraiser for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, I intend to make a lasting impact on my hometown. With our attendance rising and our community support increasing, Grand Junction High School finally seems to have a bright future ahead. You want to refrain from bragging. However, you want to tell colleges what you've done. So don't hide any big events you did. The way I've worded it is as a problem and solution. So instead of me saying, I am the greatest leader in the world, look at all the amazing things I did this, I did this. Schools don't really care. It's why you did that. If you just do a fundraiser for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society because it's fun, and that doesn't hold nearly as much weight as, my community doesn't have any sort of tie with my school, and therefore I created this event. Colleges like the why. Colleges need the why. So when it comes to any essay, but specifically leadership, focus on why you do it and explain that in your essay. Everyone can really take one thing out of this lesson. Whether or not you decide to be a leader in your community or school, remember that purpose is just as important as action. Schools don't want to see you doing all this crazy resume building stuff with no purpose. And leaders don't want to see you jump into a leadership position without a reason. My hope for you guys all is to go out there, find groups or student-led organizations, find extracurriculars that you're passionate about. And once you have that passion, once you have that drive, once you have that why, go from there. And once it gets to time for you to put that on an application, make sure you focus on your why just as much as your what. Yeah, I truly believe that the more you get into leadership now, the more opportunities open down the road for you. And I hope everything goes well in your application process, and I really hope you've enjoyed this class.